Mixon out of the backfield. Has some daylight. Hurdles to the end zone. In for the score, and he took a lick from Miles Jack, but he hung on.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to New Stripe City, a YouTube channel for diehard Bengals fans. I'm your host, Ace Boogie. So I've been waiting and sitting on this news for a while now. I just noticed that it was actually out there in the world. So, you know, sometimes when I hear these things, and I've heard these things and still haven't told you everything that I know in regards to this whole situation with other things outside of Employee 96. But I can now tell you guys about Employee 96 and what is really going on since it's out there. And the reason that I do that is because, you know, for people to share this information with me, they don't have to, honestly and truly. But the fans and people need to know what's really going on. So, as you probably saw today, we're going to do a share screen here. I do not know Carlos personally. Let me first start off by saying that, so don't assume that I actually know him. He probably doesn't even know me. I doubt that he'll probably even see this. But first things first is we saw this post that popped up, and it basically is Los saying Bengals depth chart update. Stand down and stand by is what this tells me. Zach/Lou, they got an experiment, but I don't got time for this. So as you can see, it's saying the subs, lanes, and stuff like that. So this is the right defensive end. That's where Carl Lawson is at. And then number 70, I'm not sure. Hold on, let me double check real quick. Let's make this more official. Let me check real quick who number 70 is. Pull up the roster. Marcus Hunt, who literally just got signed, is ahead of Carlos Dunlap. Now, that doesn't make sense because he's literally only been here a few days, and we saw something similar with Xavier Williams, but we'll get into that later. 91, I believe, is Armani Bledsoe. And then 90, my boy Khalid Kareem. That's cool. The weird thing, and one thing that I said on Twitter is why isn't Khalid Kareem starting? That's my guy. Like, if you're going to start somebody, why not start him? But anyways, long story short, Armani Bledsoe is starting. And then you got Los, right? So now I can finally tell what I've heard went down. So this has been – the Bengals have actually had Los on the block for a while now. Like, this is not something new. This has actually been in the works for a while now. And from what I heard, it all went down with the Bengals defensive staff. And I actually heard from a secondary source, not my primary source. I heard someone confirm it, but I heard the actual coach that he got into it with. So from what I heard, Lou Anarumo called Carlos Dunlap out in front of the entire team. Pretty much disrespect, stuff like that. And, you know, he said something along the lines of, we tried to trade you, but nobody wanted you. Like that type of stuff. So, like, a lot of people are getting on Los and stuff like that, but the way that he's really handled this stuff has been pretty professional, honestly. Now, I mean, obviously he went off today with the stuff, but he never put any of that stuff out there. So, you know, those were kind of things that I heard. So to see this playing out the way that it has is just pretty sad. To also see the fact that they're not trying to resolve this indoors, and I don't know, like, when they decided that they wanted to trade Los, when that was, because that was before week 3. So we'll have to see what happens. I haven't heard anything about John Ross. I've never honestly been in the loop with John Ross. I don't know anything about the John Ross stuff. Like, I've heard little tidbits here and there. The only thing I think that I knew was that he wasn't going to really play like that if he was active. And, you know, that was just something minimal. But I haven't really been too plugged in on that situation. I'm hoping that they just get that resolved. Someone says that it's buffering. Is there any buffering issues? Are you guys experiencing buffering issues? I'm looking in the comments to see. But anyways, that's what was told to me. That's what I heard. And so it's just kind of crazy that things are going the way that they are. I mean, honestly, it's just an ugly situation. For me, like, some people are saying, okay, somebody said, nah, no, we good. All right, some people have said that he appears to be loafing on plays. Like, I reviewed all of the film, or most of the film. I didn't really see the loafing. I'm not trying to take shots at anybody or anything like that. But yeah, I haven't really seen any loafing from what I looked at, and that's just my opinion. I'm not an NFL head coach. I played football before, and that's why I brought the coach on. Like, the coach played D-line. I've never played D-line. He said when he looked at it, it didn't look like Loaf was essentially taking plays off and stuff like that. And he was saying, according to his vision from what he saw in terms of his responsibilities, he couldn't believe that they benched Carlos. So I don't know if it's that the scheme fit doesn't work out with Los or what it is, what the issues are. But to me, to be a coach and say that in front of the team, that just wasn't professional, honestly, in my opinion. And I think a lot of people are just kind of running to take the sides with the coaches, and they don't know everything that's really going on in that locker room. So when you saw Los the first time and he was upset and everything, everyone was like, oh, he knew about the benching and stuff like that. It might not even have been about the benching. It might have been about what took place in the locker room. So for that to happen, we'll see what happens and how this plays out. I think obviously he's making a play to try to get off of this team. So, hey, it is what it is. Thank you for the super chat from my man, Chicken Genius. Appreciate you, bro, 420. Appreciate that. So we'll see how this plays out. Honestly, to me, it's just kind of disrespectful at this point. It's a vendetta that I kind of touched on last week with this coaching staff against certain players. And, I only know that part of the story. I don't know what else was said, if there was any kind of disrespect. I'm just going off of what I heard, which is like a one-sided kind of thing. But it did not come from Carlos himself. It did not come from any of that. So, that's just what I heard. And I mean, there's a lot of guys that are frustrated with Rose and stuff from what I've heard also. So, I've never said things like, somebody tried to come out and say that something about Geno Atkins not wanting to play. I just said that I actually said the opposite. I said that Geno wants to play. Geno wants to be out there. He's been frustrated with his role. Now, you guys all know that Geno isn't a guy that speaks a lot. And so I saw that my man Tyler Dragon, shout out to him, had kind of reported and said sources close to Geno are saying that he's frustrated. That's what I heard too. And that's just what it is. I heard that from it. It was never about Geno not wanting to play for the Bengals or wanting to get traded or anything like that. Nah, that's not what I was saying. I was just saying within the last 2 weeks, he was upset that he did not really play like that. So I think it definitely is two different situations. With Carlos, I think that that it's a situation where they have kind of moved on from him and kind of potentially talked about trading him and have made that a big thing. They haven't, from what I heard, at least, I don't know everything with the Geno situation. It wasn't like that. It wasn't presented like Geno was going to get traded or anything like that. It was just Geno himself was frustrated with not getting the reps that he should have. I mean, especially when you're talking about a guy that did all of that to come back. And then when you're in a game that's possibly winnable and you rarely play this guy, and you go against a Lamar Jackson the week before and you rarely play him, those are games that those guys get up for and get ready to play. And so from that perspective, that's really what all of that was about. It wasn't about me trying to say that Geno, I never said that. Like, go back and read my tweets. I never said Geno didn't want to be a Bengal or any of that. I just said that he was mad. And that's stuff that I sat on for a while. Like, I wasn't going to put it out there like that until it becomes public knowledge. So, it's just weird. It seems like they kind of did the same thing that they did with Carlos with Geno in terms of the snap counts and stuff like that, where you're bringing guys that just got signed off of the street and playing them way more snaps before them. And these guys are being used as like third string players. So I don't know if it's that the coaching staff is really doing that with Geno, or if they're trying to do some kind of passive aggressive stuff with that. So I'm just taking a look at some of this stuff in here. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, for me, it's not about even really picking a side per se. It's just, I just feel like, I've never been in the NFL locker room. Coaches could say stuff like that all the time. I truthfully do not know. But just think about that from your perspective. If someone was to do that in front of your teammates or at your job, like, you wouldn't be in the best mood either. So, for me, it has to be a situation where if these guys are doing stuff or these coaches are saying and doing stuff like that, how can they be saying that when they haven't won games? Like, none of this stuff is backed up winning games. And that's what my whole thing has been about this is it's okay that you want to move on from players. You want to try new things. You have a new vision for this team. But if you're not winning, I don't think people are really going to buy into that vision per se. So it's just weird, man. It's really just a weird thing that's going on right now. People are picking sides and stuff like that, but you have to realize that this isn't just about Carlos. This isn't just about one or two players. It's really been going on since, honestly, Cordy Glenn. Like, it almost makes me want to try to reach out to Cordy Glenn and figure out what the truth was. But, at this point, obviously the fan base is a lot riled up right now with everything going on. And I'm not trying to throw gasoline on that. Like, trust me, when you guys hear me say stuff on Twitter and stuff like that, that's not even close to some of the earth-shattering stuff that I have. And I respect, people's privacy. And when somebody tells me not to hold on to something or to hold on to something, I'm going to do it. Like, I can't just let stuff go like that. But yeah, bro, like that's just what it is right now. So we're going to have to wait and see how things go. We'll see how this game goes. It's going to be interesting, but obviously Carlos is trying to take control of his career right now. The other thing is, if you just looked at Carlos Dunlap's dad's Facebook, he's even frustrated with this situation. Like, he wants his son to go to another team, another situation. I think he had posted something. I think shout out to Rebecca Toback. She had pulled out that gem. But if you go to like his social media page, and I'm not going to put it up here or anything like that, I'm just going to read something that it said. And I mean, everybody knows Los is real close with his dad. I mean, his dad is a good guy, businessman and stuff like that. But like, even when you're frustrating his parents and stuff like that just doesn't, it's just not a good look. Like, his dad is looking for them to allow Carlos to go out and start the next chapter. And so, yeah, I just don't get it. But at the same, I guess I get it because they're trying to have their own imprint on this. And so I'm looking at some of this stuff right now. Yeah, like his own dad is posting stuff up here saying that I'm looking right now 4 hours ago, he had posted something about Bengals have Carlos Dunlap on the trade block, which I kind of knew already. He said, we come in peace and we would leave in the same manner. It is okay to divorce and move on. So it's almost like the Bengals are kind of holding Carlos hostage at this point. It just doesn't make sense to me. I mean, what can you really get for this guy? He said that the U-Haul is in the driveway. The U-Haul is in the driveway. And then he's also saying, win-win, let him go. And this is something where he's actually reposting Cincy Jungle saying that Carlos sounds very upset with the Bengals coaches and is ready to be let go. Like, and this is from his pops, man. This is an ugly situation right now. And my thing is, a lot of people are putting the burden of that on Carlos, and by no means, and I'm not trying to be biased and stuff like that. But if I'm in a situation like that and I got a player on my team that does not want to be there, I'm not going to keep him there. Like, if you feel like you want to release him, trade him, whatever it is, then just do it. If you're not going to play him, then cut him. If you're not going to, like John Ross, the same thing. If you're not going to pay him, just get rid of him. But they're going to have to take that negative backlash from the fan base because they're pushing these guys out and they're making it seem like these guys are the ones rebelling and stuff like that. Like I said, Carlos never told y'all that. Like, what I told y'all tonight, he never told y'all that. I told y'all that. That's happening. Like, that stuff is happening. So, you got to look at it from that aspect too. You talk about Jim Turner, Cordy Glenn. We saw what happened with that. Like, he was yelling at a coach. That finally got out. So we'll have to see, man. But it's sad to see this. I like Los. Los has done a lot for the community. Los has done a lot for Who Dey Nation. He's put Who Dey Nation on his back. and it's sad to see it come to this. So, that's why I said buckle up. There's going to be some more stuff coming. The other thing is I was told that this week there would be some verbal stuff coming out. So it's not surprising to me that more stuff is coming. And that's why I told y'all guys, it's only going to get worse. It's not going to get better. So we'll see. We'll see what the Bengals' response is. I can see that Zach Taylor and them probably won't let Carlos play at all or something. So this is just crazy, bro. This is just crazy. Hopefully we can end this civil war that we have going on right now with these players and coaches, because it's just, honestly, I'm tired of it. I don't want to be in the middle of it. I don't want to have to be in here and have to pick sides and stuff like that. But I do wish Carlos the best, man. I'm not going to lie and say that, because if I was in that situation and something like that happened, bro, I don't know if I would want to rock with that either. So I'm here for the fans. I'm here to just tell y'all what was going on, what I had heard. Again, I'm sorry I had no idea that Albert Rear even put that out there, but I just wanted to go ahead and put that on the record of that's what's going on. So we'll see what happens. Obviously, we got this Browns game tomorrow. This has been a train wreck of a season so far, but thank you guys for rocking with me. This has been New Stripe City, and as usual, I have to leave you guys with a who day all day, every day, especially on Sunday.
He gave his rookie-laden Bengals a high mark as they passed from the kindergarten of preseason to the first grade of regular league play.
Cincinnati's best came in the first quarter, the first time they had the ball. Quarterback Dewey Warren and fullback Tom Smiley combined for Cincinnati's first pass completion.
Bengal founder Paul Brown fashioned this novel design, as new to the game today as the forward pass was a century ago.
Montana dragged down at the 31-yard line.
In 1996, the Bengals finished strong and finished right.
Touchdown! Yes!
Tell you what, we're not worthy. We're not worthy. We got to bow to Corey Dillon.
Bulldog from the 32 with Mixon in the backfield. It's Dalton out to Mixon. He's got some room.
It's Mixon diving up and over.
We're gonna hammer home competition, preparation, and diligence in everything we do.
It's a new year. Same old question. How do you stop 85?
They're looking down the field for the home run ball. It's full. And in a day, touchdown!